Hello, Victor here, RestoringMercedes.com. This is another video for Aislad in Maryland, and this is a 99 CL500. So today update is about air conditioner, because I finally got parts and had time to install all, and so let's just see what was done. So obviously AC compressor was installed. Now this is aftermarket one. Obviously it's not genuine Mercedes, this is aftermarket AC, but for the price you can't go wrong. And believe it or not, in the V8 model it is not difficult to really replace AC compressor, so for that reason I decided to go with aftermarket unit. The more difficult to do are other things that I will show you in a second. But so yeah, this AC compressor was pretty cheap, so therefore it was installed. Now, second thing I wanted to do is I wanted to do the expansion valve, just for the hell of it, because again, in previous video you could see the pressures were very weird, and I decided to do the expansion valve because again, this is also not very expensive part, but it is sort of labor involved to get to it, because this is where the valve is. That's the new expansion valve right there. It's ACM. I like ACM company. I use their evaporators. So as you can see, ACM right there, and Engelhof or whatnot. Something else is written on it, some Engelhof or something. But anyway, so the expansion valve. In order to get to expansion valve, as you can see, the cowl, everything had to come out. Wipers, plastics and stuff. I hate with passion, big passion, these plastic clips. I mean, I understand that they're there just so they don't never rust, but what a pain in the ass to get them out, I tell you, without breaking them, of course. So while I'm at it, I vacuumed a little bit, and I'm gonna clean the windshield line here, just when I put plastic together. That will be clean. And last but not least, an important part is the actual receiver dryer, which is also by ACM. And it doesn't want to focus. So obviously this piece you do want to replace every time you work on AC system, because if your AC system is open, within about 15 minutes this unit will absorb water and it will not be efficient. So that went obviously last, because you do not want to leave it open when you work on something else, like crack pipes open. Now just waiting for pressures to normalize. So high pressure and low pressure. I already ran the car, everything works perfect. I'll show it to you in a minute. So now they're more or less equalizing. So high side and low side, they're more or less equal. So we're gonna start the car now. I'll show you the pressures after when the car is running. So first is, let me just start the vehicle. What I also will do is I'm gonna drop on air cleaner, rather filter, outside air filter. I just had it laying here just so I can get recycled to work, and all filtered. So I'm gonna drop it on real quick, just one bolt, just to have it so it's there. Holding it down a little bit. Also vacuum to be connected as well, so there is no vacuum leak in the engine. So first things, let's look at pressures here, see where pressures are. I know I have shadow, so we can see much different readouts from previous video. So right now we got 220 psi on the high with fans running, and that's gonna be somewhere around 30. So as we can see, very healthy pressures, very nice. So let's accelerate. So as you can see, before and after. Before, we had this to drop and this to rise. So now this stays more or less stationary and this one is dropping. That's the way it's supposed to be. I also have to make one remark. I kind of thought of it when I made a video about V12, which is a 95. I noticed that the air C compressors themselves are different between 99 and 95. So my pressure is slightly different than pressures with this compressor, 95 to 99, because these compressors in the 99 S class, they went to variety of different cars, Sprinters, what else, Mercedes MLs, basically all Mercedes, I think, 6 groove belt, and that's the compressor, three mounting bolts versus 4 is on V12. All right, so what do we have here? Now what I was trying to do here is I was trying to see if we get our AC to actually freeze, and that therefore I just have it on low. Well, obviously temperature is on low, and I wanted to see how low I can get evaporator temperature to be. So we get evaporator temperature, being that outside probably like over 80 degrees. The evaporator temperature is 38 degrees. So basically, once it drops to 37, it will shut off the AC compressor, because it would be close to freezing. Therefore, AC compressor will shut off and temperature will rise to like 42, and it will kick back on at 43. This is a result because before, obviously, we could never get it to go this low. Obviously, when the fan speed is higher, you don't get it to go to 38 because it's going to hover around 40 something because of the airflow. But right now, the evaporator is cooling down like crazy, and it remains at 38 because there's no air through it, so it's not being warmed up by the hot air or warmer air that will go through it. If I'm going to put the fan on higher speed, it will happen. Now I'll give it some gas. So let's give it some gas. And another thing is I do not have mechanical fan installed right now, so the temperature, engine temperature is hotter, and obviously condensing temperature is a little hotter. It runs at about 97, 96 or something like right now. So now it is down to 37, and this is where AC compressor should shut off. As you can see, the temperature is rising now, rising up to about 42, 43, and then it will kick in and it will start cooling again. It's a safety feature on all AC compressor, the AC cars that have AC air conditioners. It must be like that, otherwise evaporator will freeze and it can just get damaged. So okay, so here we got up to 44 degrees, and as you can see, temperature is starting to go down because AC compressor kicked in and evaporator is being cooled off right now. So properly working system, and really happy with it. Now let's just see if we can get this thing to blown maximum. Okay. Now when it blows at maximum, as you can see, temperature is rising because there is so much warmer air going through the evaporator core, therefore it's getting warmer. Now inside the vehicle obviously is very comfortable now, because before it would be like around 60, but now as you can see, start driving this thing around, it will remain at 50. So whatever air passes through, it's going to get 50 degrees. Temperature will be 50, the temperature of the air. If I give it some gas, because every time you give it some gas, obviously AC compressor spins faster, and we have, as you can see, efficiency rises because it creates more pressure and more circulation. As you can see, it's 49 degrees at full blast, about 80 something degrees outside today, and it keeps it at 49. So you would imagine it would be actually, and the RPMs are just 1,000, not even 900 maybe. So at this RPM, in this ambient temperature, and being at 49, that's a good result. I have no problems with it. If I give it a little more gas, we might even drop to, yeah, there you go. If I give it 2000 RPM, we're dropping to 48 because again, more circulation. But before, I could not get it to go lower than, I believe, 60. Obviously it's no go. Right now you actually feel the, like this kind of like a chilling kind of feel, like of cold air. Before it was like just a little kind of on the cold side, just like as if you were to put the fan in the hot weather. It's not, you know, it just blows warm air, so it feels like it's cooler, but it's just barely cooler. So right now there is a good feel inside the vehicle where it actually has that sensation of that little bit like a breezy kind of air. It's nice, like tingly, I would say. Another thing is, of course, is to replace cabin filter. That is a must because who knows what state it is in. But cabin filter is something. I think this car has it right under here. Is a cabin filter. But see, when I put the temperature down just a little bit, less air circulation, the obviously the evaporator is cooling down right away. So very nice, good result, very efficient system. That's great. So let's take a look if we have any condensation on the floor, because it's not really super humid today. So yeah, it's not humid today, so there is really no condensation under the vehicle. So but we do have some condensation on piping. If you look right here, we have a little condensation here on the pipe, the water, which is good, and more over here, as you can see, of condensation here. So it is working, it's working pretty well. Our temperatures, I mean pressures, are very nice. Low is low, high is like not blowing up high, and everything seems to be working fine. Again, I do not have mechanical fans, so the only coolant is happening with electric fans. Obviously not very efficient, but here's the testing stage, so I didn't want to put it in yet. So what is next on the agenda? The next on the agenda is I just keep it running for a little bit, shut it off, put it back on, shut it off, put it back on, and then when everything checks out, then I'm going to start assembling the cowl area, and mechanical fan will go back in place, and then I'm gonna finish underneath, and then this part of the job will be done. So air conditioner, so far so good, no leaks, performs very well. All right, so we'll leave it to this. We'll leave it at this, and the next part, I don't know, maybe I'll make it another part or not, so we'll see. All right, so this is all for now. This is Victor at RestoringMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.